I remember it like it was yesterday, though it feels like a nightmare that still haunts me. It was a cold, moonless night in Mattoon, and the air was thick with an ominous stillness that seemed to clutch at my very soul. I was just a teenager then, oblivious to the horrors that awaited me. I lived in a small house on the outskirts of town, nestled amidst the whispering cornfields. That night, I was alone, my parents away on a business trip, leaving me to fend for myself. I remember feeling a sense of unease as darkness descended, a feeling that something sinister lurked just beyond the shadows. It started with a faint, sweet odor wafting through the air, like the sickly scent of rotting fruit. At first, I dismissed it as nothing more than a trick of my imagination, but as the smell grew stronger, a sense of dread gripped me. Then came the sound, a soft hiss that seemed to emanate from the very walls of my home. I crept through the house, heart pounding in my chest, searching for the source of the noise. That's when I saw him, a shadowy figure lurking outside my window, his features obscured by the darkness. I froze, paralyzed with fear as I watched him skulk around the perimeter of my house, a canister clutched in his hand. I knew then that he was the infamous Mad Gasser, a phantom whispered about in hushed tones by the townsfolk. They said he prowled the night, spreading his noxious fumes and striking fear into the hearts of all who crossed his path. I wanted to scream, to run, but fear held me captive as he approached my window, his face twisted into a malevolent grin. And then, with a flick of his wrist, he released the contents of the canister into my room, filling the air with a choking fog that burned my lungs and stung my eyes. I stumbled backward, gasping for air, my mind swimming with terror. How had he found me? Why had he targeted me? These questions raced through my mind as darkness closed in around me, and I felt myself slipping into unconsciousness. When I awoke the next morning, the sun was shining, birds chirping in the trees outside. Tried to convince myself it had all been a nightmare, a figment of my imagination brought on by the isolation of the night. But as I stumbled through my house, the lingering scent of the gas hung heavy in the air, chilling reminder of the horrors that lurked just beyond the shadows.